What's up, YouTube? Back in another video, and today I'm gonna be talking about how you can add get action to your offense here in 2K26, just to give yourself another option, some more variety, and just another thing to do and something to add to your game. So, what is get action? Get action is just a simple concept where an offensive player will have the ball, he'll pass the ball up to his teammate, and then go and get it right back, usually via handoff or a little pitch pass, and just play out of that action right there. And it's a good way to create separation from your defender without even having to dribble. And it also opens up the backdoor cuts as well. So a lot of players, they'll throw the ball up, they'll fake like they're going to get it back and then go backdoor. And a lot of teams and players use this. Maxey and MB use this a lot. Murray and Jokic do it. And every little team throws in their own little wrinkles and twists. Sometimes they'll add another screener. The Knicks, they use it with Jalen Brunson off inbound passes a lot. Movement shooters use it. When a defender closes out too hard, they'll give him a pump fake, throw it to a teammate, and then go and get it right back for another shot. Sometimes when going to get it back, they'll reject the screen, or sometimes they use it to get into a pick and roll. So they'll get the handoff and then they'll re-screen and get into the pick and roll. And so it's a pretty common thing you'll see. And all these clips are from this year's playoffs alone. So I didn't even go back to the regular season or previous seasons to get all these clips. And as far as 2K goes, this is something that I would do like at the end of the clock when, you know, my first or second option didn't work out. I'll pass it to a teammate and then run and get it back with a handoff and go get a bucket. But the problem with that is your teammate doesn't actively screen for you once he hands the ball off. You kind of gotta hope your defender like gets stuck or just takes a bad angle to create separation. But when I was doing the Knicks playbook video, I learned that if you call in a play or whatever and the player is designed to screen, if you pass him the ball and then, you know, do the handoff and get into that get action, he will still screen. And so that's when I started kind of experimenting a little bit. And I found that it works best when the screener is fairly stationary and not moving too much. And so it's up to you to run your defender into that screen. Those plays usually work best for, you know, passing the ball and then getting it back. And the plays where the screener is moving towards you to come screen, those plays not so much. And the reason is because you want to have some distance between you and the screener. And so when the screener is not moving so much, you can control that space a lot more. But if he's constantly moving towards you, you can't really get the space that you need in order to get like a good runway for the handoff. So here's an example of what I mean. So this play is fist 4-out STS, and it's in the Blazers playbook. So I go to, like, you know, the little blue circle to initiate the play. And that's what you will need to do for a lot of the plays. Like, you need to go at least be around that little circle so the play actually starts. So the play starts, and once Denny clears out, at this point, I'm free to move and kind of do whatever I want, right? And so I wait. And this is what I mean by you want plays to where your screeners are kind of stationary, because look at them setting the screens, and then I'm all the way over here and they're not following me. Like, they're kind of just here. So it's up to me to run them into the screens, but you want them to do this because you get to, like I said, control that space and create some space so that when you pass the ball and then you try to get it back with the handoff, you have a lot of runway. You don't want to be standing like right here and then try to do a handoff, and it doesn't really work that well on the game. But if you create some space, so like if I'm like out here on the wing or something, then it's a lot better. So this is what I mean by you want to try to get plays where your screeners are kind of stationary and they're not moving that much, so that it's easier for you to, you know, get that space. Now, in this example, he comes to set the screen, and you see how I'm backing up, but you see how he follows me? This is what you don't really want, because you really can't control that space if he's following you like this. So that's why I say you want plays where, you know, your screeners are kind of stationary, because if he follows you, like you see how he's following, you can't really get like the runway that you would want. So you can alleviate this by throwing the pass early, but creating your space before you throw the pass. So right here, once the play starts, you see me backing up. And before he can get too close to my defender to screen him, like once he's like around here at the top of the key, I make the pass. And so this is like, you know, a good amount of space that you would want in order to run this. And so I'm able to get, a decent handoff animation. He screens De'Aaron Fox, and now I'm able to, get into the get action. So you can alleviate it, but it's a lot easier when the screeners are just already stationary. So you don't have to worry about like the timing and all of that. And of the plays that I've tried out so far, those side pick and rolls and pick and pops seem to be the best. I've tried a couple horns plays that are pretty good. And also plays that just have some movement before you get the screen so that you have time to create some space. And if you need to make that early pass so like your screener doesn't follow you. So like the movement before the screen kind of helps you do that. And so yeah, it's probably a lot more plays. I'll leave some plays in the description or a pinned comment that you've seen like clips of in the video, and you can also just experiment on your own. And so yeah, this is a nice little concept and it's okay, but you are still at the mercy of 2K's animations most of the time. Like the handoff animations, even after all these years, are still kind of janky sometimes, and a lot of the times you don't keep your forward momentum. Like it makes you pause or stop a little bit. But sometimes like the handoff animations get kind of weird, and like the animation where the player that has the ball, that's handing the ball off, he kind of turns his body, like that's like the worst animation you could probably get when you use this. Like nothing really good ever comes out of it. But still, this is a nice little concept that I discovered and felt like sharing. So let me know how you feel about it. As always, hope you enjoyed. I hope this helped you. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more content.